Good afternoon. Welcome. What's up, guys? Good to see all the beautiful faces. So- Hey, Bill. Brent. Let's hear some good news. Who's made some money in the past week or so? Inspire, inspire, inspire. Good to see your face, Greg. David. Good to be here. Like when you guys come on camera. It's appreciated. I'm kicking out all these note takers, these fireflies and stuff. So they're going to come in and be gone here in a second. Once robots on the call. No one's made any money. I've got some income coming in from a brand new mobile home that we sold on some land. So that'll be here hopefully tomorrow. About to list 6 more. So that's interesting. And then I actually have been taking back a lot of land lately on people that we've sold on seller financing. So I have some more work on my hands. I got to sell some of that land to other people. So I need to start posting it on Facebook Marketplace, putting signs out again. Facebook Marketplace has been awesome, actually. Maybe I'll just start with that. It's another round of selling. But anybody got a win they want to share?
I mean, I haven't made money. I've definitely learned a lot of things. I did want to ask though, Brent, on the taking back land, what does that look like? Is that how do they usually take that? How does that usually go?
I was hoping you'd take longer to ask that question. I was just stuck a piece of cheese in my mouth. So how it looks is I sold a bunch of land on contract for deeds and land contracts over the years. Now that I'm doing more expensive parcels, I sell those on promissory note and mortgage. So usually people put up a lot more money for those. I won't do that unless it's at least $5,000 down, and that's probably too low nowadays. That's been my rule of thumb for the longest time. But if it's less than 5,000 down, I usually sell it on a land contract or a contract for deed. So how that process looks, once they get 60 days behind, well, let me back up a little bit. People get behind all the time. So after about 5 days, my assistant will reach out and see if we can help in any way. Sometimes people just need to change the date when we draft it out of their account because we pull everything via ACH. We have one person left paying us checks. At one time, I would take cash, I would take check, any way they could pay us. Credit card, like now we only do the ACH. So she'll change the date sometimes. We've literally modified loans for people for free because we pause loans. We will work with anybody because I had plenty of land. I could get more. Sometimes people just don't communicate or they just don't have the money. So after about 60 days, it says in our land contract that we're going to cancel the contract for deed and take it back. And if we can't get a hold of them, we'll leave them a voicemail, we'll send them a text, we'll send them a certified letter, and then we'll go through the process of reselling it to somebody else. That's it. Don't have to overcomplicate it. I've never had to actually foreclose on a piece of land.
That was my next question, yeah.
Yeah, I never had to do that yet. Thank God. It came darn close. But again, I worked with that guy. I did a loan, which called a short sale. He owed me a lot more for the land than what I let him sell it for, but I still made money on it. So I wasn't mad about it. Hey guys, if no one has any other wins they want to share, I promised some people that I was going to talk about lending on this call. Who in here has access to private lenders, private funds, private capital, like by show of hands? Has anybody been taking advantage of that? Bill, for sure. Does anybody else have any private lenders, private capital? All right, guys, so let's talk about lending. When I stopped using hard money lenders and more private lending, my life just got so much easier. And I wasn't jumping through hoops with banks. I wasn't having to sell my soul and show these hard money lenders what I was doing. A lot of questions. Things just got a lot easier to deal with. I'm actually paying off a $50,000 loan tomorrow. Guy actually lent me $50,000 and I relent it out at 20% and I'm paying my lender 10%. So basically I had someone come to me wanting to borrow money from me on a deal. I trust this guy. So I was like, sure, let me see if I got a lender available for you. So my lender lent to me for 10% and I lent to my friend for 20%. It was roughly, he only had it for about 4.5 months. So technically I made 4 times 6, 12, 18, $2,400 is about what I made in interest. Now it was supposed to be a 2-year loan. But my lender, when I talked to him today, I got his wire information. He said, well, let me know when you have another deal. He wants to keep that money going and earning. So these are the people that I want to show you guys how to attract. There's 2 ways to do it. Way number 1 is for the person that's never done a real estate deal. Can you guys just give me a show of hands?
I mean, I haven't done anything with land, but I have a couple rental houses.
Love it. Okay. Well, I'll talk about both of them actually, just in case someone watches this recording, like, I've never done a real estate deal. How do I get money? So Way number one is a little bit harder, I think. It's a little bit more uncomfortable, but it involves this cell phone right here. And if anybody goes to their contacts, actually, if you have an iPhone, I can show you how to do this, but go to your contacts and go to where you see the A, B, C, D, F, G, all the way down, you hit the number sign and then scroll up some more, or actually keep scrolling down. Like I'm almost at 6,000 contacts. I'm sure someone in here has a lot of money. So let's just say that 1% of these people have 40 grand or more, or let's just say 20 grand. So 6,000 contacts, 6,000. I'm looking at the calculator here. Let me just share the screen. And it might be a little off, but 6,000 contacts times, let's just do a 0.5%, 0.5%. So actually, no, that's half. Sorry. So 6,000 times 0.5% equals 30. Let's just say 30 of those people have 20 grand times 20,000. And some people are going to have more, some people are going to have less. That's the average, though. And I found it to be a lot more than that. That's 600K right there in my cell phone. Now, I'm sure people have a lot more than that, and some people have a lot less contacts, but that's okay. So here's how these conversations work is go and look at the last 10 people you've had a text message with, that you've shared a text message back and forth with, as well as the last 10 people that you've had a phone call with. And just write those names down. That's your top 20 list. And reach out to one person per day for the next 20 days. Now, if like you're looking through your phone list and one person was like the VA, one was American Express, one was Capital One. Okay, don't call those people. Like I'm talking real people, real regular people, and reach out to those people each day. And I'm just going to pretend I'm calling Bill. And I'm gonna say, Bill, are you able to do a role play for a second? Bill probably has borrowed more funds and dealt with more lenders than anybody else on this call. Are you able to do a role play with me for just a second, Bill?
Absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect. Okay, so ring, 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 ringing your phone. Hey, Bill, it's Brent Bowers. Did I catch you at a good time?
Hey, Brent, it's great. Yeah, it's a great time. I got a few minutes. Good to hear from you.
You too, sir. Hey, thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to touch base with you real quick. I know we haven't chatted in a while. I just want to give you a real quick update. I have joined a group of other land investors. We find land deals all the time. I've set up a marketing strategy where I am offering offers every day to landowners. So basically, we're buying and selling land. I'm looking to do more deals this year, or like if you're already doing deals, or hey, I'm actually looking to do my first land deal this year, and I've actually got coaching from a coach as well as an assistant coach in the community walking me through these. But that's a long story. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet. Basically, the reason for my call is I'm reaching out to everyone I know, seeing if they want to invest in real estate with me.
Really? What would that entail, Brent?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. Basically, what we're doing is we're making offers every day to landowners, and we are getting land deals under contract at discounts. Sometimes we get some great deals, some smoking hot deals, and we try and be at less than 60 cents on the dollar. So if we're buying a piece of land for 60,000, we want it to be worth at least 100. Most of the time we're looking for lending for about a year, and we pay interest on the funds that we borrow. So if you had some funds sitting around, or maybe you know someone that has funds sitting around, I'm basically putting a list together. I don't have a deal in front of me right now. I'm putting a list together of people that want to invest in a piece of land with us.
If I decided to do that, Brent, how would that work? How would my money be secured? And what's the process for me to make that kind of investment?
Amazing question. Yeah, thanks for asking. So how we secure the money is we get a title insurance policy on any land we buy. So we do title searches, we do lien searches, and then we actually don't touch your money. We have our lender send it to the title insurance company. That way you're protected. We also buy a lender's title insurance policy. We pay for that. And then we give you a lien holder position on the land, to where if we don't pay you, unfortunately, if we were to not pay you, you can take the land from us.
Okay. So that would be, just like, if I was borrowing money from a bank and they would put a mortgage on the property I was buying, kind of like that.
You got it, sir. You would be the bank. So that's exactly right.
And, well, how long would my money be invested, Brent? Well, what kind of a term are you looking for?
Yeah, and I don't have a number in mind because I don't have an actual deal in front of me. Time out, guys. You always want to have this lined up ahead of time so you're not looking desperate when you got a free days to close the deal. So going back to the role play, Bill, I don't actually have a deal in front of me, and they all kind of vary. I'd rather ask you, like, how long would you want that money working for you? That's one of my top 3 questions. Breaking role play. How long would you want that money working for you, or your money working for you? That way I can kind of marry the deal to you. So if I get a 12-month deal, I call you. If I got a 3-month deal, I call you. So I guess question, hate to throw it back on you, but how long would you want it working for you?
Well, as far as investment capital, I would want it working for me as long as it produces a great return.
I love that. That is what you're going to hear a lot. Well, as long as I can. So I put that in my notes, guys. I always keep a rolling list of lenders. Here's what my Excel document looks like. I'm not going to show you guys because these are my lenders on here and I don't want anybody reaching out to them, but I have their name, their phone number, their email, how much money they have, part of the 3 questions, how much money they have, 2, what interest rate they want to see, and 3, how long they want it working for. So Bill, I would put as long as possible. ALP, as long as possible. ALAP, as long as possible. So go back to the role play. So Bill, yeah, I mean, sometimes the deals sell in 4 months, sometimes they sell in 3 months, sometimes they sell in 12 months. But generally, I like to do at least a 12-month mortgage. That way, we're at least covered, and sometimes we do extension clauses in there. So if we go longer, we pay you for it.
And at the end of the term, how would you guys go about paying me off and so I can get my money back and reinvest it?
Yes, sir. So when we sell the land or we refinance, usually we just sell the land. The title insurance company will be reaching out to you and we will be getting a payoff letter. I'll help you with that payoff letter. Usually it's your principal. So if you loan me, we're to loan $40,000 on the land deal plus your interest for however many days it's used. So if we're using it for 15 days, then we usually pay you whatever, $400 a month in interest. We'll send you your principal plus the $200 in interest. And we would get something called a satisfaction of mortgage from you. The title insurance company sends that to you. You sign it, and that is what removes the lien from the property. So you have to keep the mortgage documents if we do deal together. You have to keep the originals in a safe place. Fireproof box is what I recommend because you're the only person that can release that lien.
Okay. And so is there any costs or expenses involved on my part in regards to, lending the money and putting a mortgage and signing a note and things like that? Is there any expenses to me?
So there would be. I always make sure that I reimburse those costs. So here's what you're going to be seeing as far as costs. Sometimes people have a self-directed IRA fee that they have to pay to their SD IRA company. I've seen fees of anywhere from $100 to $400 a year. So I always cover those for my lenders, as well as any wire fees. So when you wire the funds to the title insurance company, you might see a wire fee for that. And then when we wire you the money back, you might see a wire fee for that. So I always like to cover those. That way, any interest we pay you is pure profit on your part. But that's about the only fees I usually see.
Okay. And once again, because of, the unscrupulous people that are running around out there in public, you guys make sure that the person you're dealing with actually owns the property?
Oh, wow. Yeah, really good. I can tell you've done your homework, sir. Yes. So when I purchase a piece of land, we have some checks that we do ahead of time before we actually send a land deal, what we think is a land deal, to the title insurance company or the closing attorney, whatever state it's in. So we do a couple verifications. One, I like to do a video call, which we're not actually on a video call right now. I'd love to do a video call sometime, but we do a video call. That way I see who I'm working with, as well as I like to get a copy of their ID so I can match it with the records, the county records, seeing that they're actually the owner. And then I do one more additional verification is I look at the address on record with the county. This is usually where their tax bill goes to, and I send them a letter, usually with a 6-digit code, and they read that back to me when they get that letter 3 days later. That way I know they're able to get their tax bills as well. And then I turn them over to the title insurance company to continuously vet them, because I've actually come across some of these deals before. Unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way.
Wow. Okay. Well, that sounds great, Brent. I mean, you covered all the bases and answered all the questions. Why don't you put me on the list for an investor in your land the next time you have a deal come up.
And I would really ring the bell right there. Bill, wow, thanks for taking this call. I didn't mean to hold you that long. I was just really just reaching out to gauge your interest. Do you have time for 2 more quick questions?
Sure.
All right, so this is the top 3. One, we've already discussed how long you wants it working, so part of the top 3. That's usually the last question I ask. How much money are we talking, Bill? Because I always like to marry the deal with the investor. How much money are we talking here?
100K.
Woo! All right. And then number 2, and I wouldn't say woo, all right. You want to pretend like you've done this before.
It's in your run, you
It's better to get really grounded before these calls, take a couple of deep breaths, because one time on the phone with the seller guys, breaking role play, the guy actually told me less than what I had offered him, and I said, "Are you serious?" Like one of my first house deals I ever bought. All right, so question number 2 is, you can ask it either way. You can say, "Hey, Bill, what do you usually earn on your investments?" Or you can ask him, "Hey, Bill, what interest rate would you like to see to put a big smile on your face?" So whatever feels comfortable with you, gauge that.
I'm getting about 3.5 to 4% in the bank, so 6% would make me smile.
There you go. Just zip your mouth and let the lender talk, because if there was a long pause after Bill said, "I'm getting about 3.5 to 4% in the bank," which is incredible, by the way. I don't ever hear people say that. I would say 4%, man. What if I could double that? But I'm glad I didn't say that, because he just said 6% would be amazing. So I always like to put a little cherry on it too. Like if they tell me 6%, or I like to get 6 to 8%, I'm calling Bill at 8%. I'm not here to negotiate with Bill, because that's only a few $1,000s over. I mean, 6 to 8% on 100K for 1 year, 7, 8. That's only 2,000 more. Make it worth the while to this guy to lend you his money. So, Bill, man, thanks for taking this call. That's all the questions I had. Well, I didn't expect to keep you on the line this long. I will let you know when I have a deal that I can afford to pay you 6% on.
Sounds good, Brent. I look forward to hearing from you.
All right, I'll be in touch. Guys, hear me. Even if you have the best opportunity of your life, don't talk to Bill about it on that first phone call, because you look desperate. Give it like it's like the dating game, because like you don't want to have like a desperate situation. Like you don't want Bill like getting a little nervous, like, "Oh my gosh, I wonder how many other people he called." So let's just say 48 hours goes by and all of a sudden I get this great deal. I'm calling Bill again. Ring, ring, ring. "Hey, Bill, it's Brent Bowers. I know we spoke 2 days ago. I actually just had a great deal come across my desk. It's a land deal. Did I catch you at a good time? You want to talk about it?"
Yeah, wow. I always got the time to talk about money.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I will follow up this call with an email and a video recording showing you all the details, because I don't expect you to like grasp it all on the phone. But I actually have a piece of land that we can buy for $60,000. It's worth about $95,000. The closing's in about 45 days. I'm in the due diligence process right now, so we're still vetting the seller. We're still double checking our numbers. I just wanted to see if you were good for around $60,000 at 6% interest for the next 12 months.
That sounds like a good deal. Verification of everything you need to verify. Be sure to send me all the details. I'll make a decision within an hour or 2. If I'm in, I'll tell you I'm in. If I'm not in, I'll tell you I'm not in.
I love it. Okay, I will get an email prepared for you with the video presentation, and I'll have that to you in the next 24 hours. I'll text you when I send it.
Okay. I'll look forward to your text. As soon as I get your text, send it to me via email, and I'll jump on the email and look at all the details and let you know right away.
Will do, sir. Thanks for taking the call. Catch you later.
Thanks, Brent.
Bye-bye. All right, so what I would do, I just promised Bill I'd have my email in 24 hours. You better believe it, the second I hang out, I'm doing a video presentation for Bill. So I use Zoom, and then I hit new meeting. I record my face. I get my mic out. Like I make it professional. I put my iPhone camera, and then I show him the breakdown. I show Bill and this video is just for Bill. Like I say his name in it, and I show him the breakdown of my Excel document, the numbers, the comparables, what realtors are saying, what other land sold for, because I want to show him almost every single detail of this transaction. That way, if God forbid, and things have happened in my past, something goes wrong, at least I was very detailed. I show him the competition as well, what's for sale, and I try and keep it under 10 minutes though. I want to keep it short because I don't want to drone on forever. Generally, they're less than 8 minutes is what I would do. And I haven't always done this, guys. This has kind of been several years of kind of like perfecting seeing this? And then another question I always like to know, once someone funds a deal for me, how often do you want updates? And most of them just say, when you send me the check each month. But it's awesome to give them updates as well. Like, for instance, I got another lender. She wanted to see underneath the trailer. But guess what? My last video, when I went out and checked the mobiles that we're building, I got underneath the trailer and showed her why they put the 5 mil or whatever, the polyurethane black plastic, what it's for, how the blocks look. I got one group that's a fun. They like updates every 3 months. So just put it on your calendar because you will forget. Any questions with that? That was a lot, and I can break down way more. I love this subject, and I've got some other ideas for you guys as well.
I think, and one thing that I'm curious about is, I think I've heard you, because like I said, I've been going back and watching like previously recorded video chats when I can't make like the current ones. How has your experience been working with friends and family on this stuff? And the reason I ask is because like my family is asking questions and I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I just got a text. I had a wedding I went to last night and I was kind of catching up with one of my friends from college, who just PCS out to Florida. And he was like, yeah, man, the shooting ranges out here all suck. You're like investing in land now. Like, what would you think? Like, do you think you could find me some land maybe? And I'm like, okay, I feel like I need to tread lightly when I'm dealing with friends and family. What are your thoughts on that, Brent?
I truly believe God gave us family members to borrow money from them. My first lender ever was my father-in-law, my first private lender. No, that's not true, actually. He was probably my third private lender. Daryl Lingle was my first private lender. His son is in this community as well. But I was a little nervous borrowing money from my father-in-law. And I was like, man, if God forbid something goes wrong, like Thanksgiving meal is going to be weird. Well, this guy become one of my best friends. Like, he's over here this weekend helping me put a new drain pipe on my wash machine and all this stuff because he's a master plumber. By far one of the best experiences ever. I've only borrowed money from my father-in-law. I have done deals with friends. Like, if that buddy called me and said, hey, the shooting ranges suck, can you find me a shooting range? I'm like, heck yeah, Will, that sounds great. Sounds like a fun adventure. I'd be interested in doing that with you. Shoot me over a proof of funds, like where you're approved from a bank statement. Just show me how much you got, because no offense, buddy, I've had a lot of people reach out and I'll go to work and then before I know, I spent thousands of dollars on marketing campaign and they don't even have the money to buy the land.
Okay. No, that's good to know because I figured I need to practice cold calling. So I just went to Redfin and just looked at everything for sale by owner, like houses and land. And I spent a couple hours this weekend just making phone calls. And that led to me going to see, nothing hit with land. I didn't get any traction there, but I did get traction with houses. I was like, I'm not really looking for houses, but a deal is a deal. And if 3 of these guys want to show me their house, it lets me practice my in-person skills. So why not? And I went out to see a place and exactly that happened. The guy had a welder who was helping him clear out some of his dad's old like welding stuff. And the guy goes, so you're a real estate investor? I was like, yeah. I was like, what do you do? I'm like, well, every deal's kind of different. What are you looking for? And he's like, oh, I'm looking for some land in the county where I can just put a double wide on it and take a piss without seeing my neighbors. And I was like, well, I'll call you later tonight and we'll see. So that happened probably a week ago. This friend reached out, was like, hey, can you like help me find something? So it's kind of seeming like for me right now, I need to try and nug down on these people who have actually approached me and trying to find land for that. Because that's like half the work's already done. Like I've essentially already found
Buyers. Yeah, get approved funds or a pre-approval letter. You're not being rude to ask that. Like, if they got it, they'll be happy to show it off to you. It's like guys in the militaries. They got the growers and the showers. I probably shouldn't have said that. That's a bad joke.
It's fine. Call's not recorded. No one overshoots. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Cause I definitely was a little uncertain about that, but that's good to know that it can go well.
Absolutely. Because you're going to bend over backwards and you're going to pay your lender back no matter what. It's grandma's money and she needs it for retirement. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, you make a decision. Well, should I eat or pay my private lender? You're going to lose weight.
That's so true. Absolutely. And don't think of it as borrowing. Don't think of it as you being needy, because these people make money and they love it. My father-in-law all the time, even my mother-in-law mentions how much is in that account because they're not touching the money. It's just accumulating and growing. And my father-in-law made a little snarky remark the other day. He's like, it's not her money, but she keeps counting in my account. And you'll find that these private lenders have more. So Bill told me he had 100. He's probably got 250. He's just testing me. He's just starting me. I want to talk about the second way Guys, if you're doing deals already or you've done deals like Chase, I know you've done 3 slam dunk mobile home deals. Showcase them, talk about them, celebrate them, share, be the generous expert. So, guys, I don't care what social media platform you're on, TikTok, Instagram, just pick one that you feel the most comfortable with. I prefer Facebook for this sort of thing because Facebook is a little bit older user. Instagram's younger. TikTok's, I don't know, honestly. But I like Facebook. And let's just talk about the last couple deals. Let's just pretend that I'm going to talk about this land deal. Hey, guys, we ended up buying this land deal. We got it under contract for $12,000 and I sold it to a builder for $24,000. I was paid in 30 days. How did I find the deal? I actually make offers to landowners every single day. I use this software program called Pebble. Here's what it looks like. I'm actually sending these offer letters out, and you can record your screen. Like mine were basic. My videos were super basic till I hired someone to help me with it. But basic is fine. You don't have to be creative and crazy. You show them the process. Hey, I'm sending these offer letters out every day. Most people say no. Sometimes people call me and yell at me. You want to hear a recording? Like what people actually say. Get real with it. Show people your process and do this every single day for 5 days. And on the 6th day, say, guys, I'm actually looking to do more of these deals this year. I've done 3 real estate deals now. I'm actually part of this community. These guys are doing crazy land deals. I see some guys making over $1 million profit on their land deals. If anybody wants to do these deals with me, reach out. Basically, here's what I'm looking for in a good partner. I'm really looking for lending partners that have cash on the sidelines. Maybe they're in the bank account earning you no interest. Maybe they're in your self-directed IRA, or maybe they're in the stock market and you're drinking a bottle of Maalox every day because you're freaking out because you see what the stock market's doing. We secure this money with real estate that is secured by a title insurance policy. We put a lien on it to protect your funds, and we want to do more deals this year. So whether it be you're providing affordable housing with the mobile homes, or you're just land flipping, you're doing simple land flips. But break down the whole entire process, give everything away, share everything. And guys, when you start teaching other people how to do this, AKA education to get lenders, your business is going to improve.
And also, Brent, just a suggestion, because we're all guilty of making judgments on circumstances or people, and put that in your back pocket, because I remember a guy that was looking for private investors, and he kept ignoring his janitorial ladies that would come in his house to clean, and finally they had to close on him. And what it turned out is that this lady just got $1 million judgment, for a car accident that she was in, and, did some permanent damage to her legs and her back. And she was able to get much better, but she still limps and things like that. So it was $1 million settlement net to her. I mean, it was closer to 2 million, and the attorney took his piece of the pie, and then her remainder was close to $1 million. And she wanted to not be like the normal lottery winner that loses all her money in a year. She wanted to invest it wisely and was looking for some opportunities to do that. And he kept ignoring her, making assumptions that she's a janitorial lady. She can't have any money. So be sure to prevent yourself from doing that, because you'll be surprised who could be one of your private investors.
That's so good. It's like the Millionaire Next Door book. The guy that has the old rickety truck and the squeaky screen door. That's a perfect example. I never would have imagined my father-in-law had all this money either. Never knew it. Cheapest dude I've ever met in my life. Won't even let his wife get her nails done. She works. She's got her own money. That's ridiculous. So anybody have any questions on that? Comments, concerns, or a land question? Was it helpful?
Yeah, I thought that was helpful.
Thank you. Hey, Sandy.
Yeah, sorry if this is a repeat, but I'm driving and it's cell services in and out. But as far as the paperwork and any laws, is it, and like the nitty gritty of, is there anything that we need to be aware of, or are we bypassing a lot of this stuff because it is a partnership?
Yeah, I always loved so depending on what state it is, the documents will change a little bit. Mortgage and promissory note and deed of trust. I always like to have the title insurance company or the closing attorney take care of the paperwork, because then it's kind of, on them, their attorney. You're not practicing law. They're filing the lien for you. They're paying the doc stamps. So I really lean on the title insurance company's legal counsel or the closing attorney to take care of it. And sometimes these companies, I'm like, $500? Like, just pay it. Like, because I get to that they charge $500 for state approved documents, but I paid $200. I paid $500. Don't trust ChatGPT to write up your documents for this sort of thing. And make sure you're recording it. Make sure you're educating your lender. Hey, you're going to get a stamp with a recording number. Please keep hold of these documents. Put them in a fireproof box, because when we sell this property, we got to get you to release the lien. So you'll be signing a release of lien, and we're going to need that original note.
Everything that Brent said, but remember, things happen. Like Pete Fortunato, I told you the story about that. He lost all his documents, but what he had discovered previous to that is that you can re-engineer originals from the county where the document's recorded. All you have to do is ask them for a certified copy, and they'll charge you $10 for that. But if you're trying to replace original documents on a deal, wow, what a great place to be, because they'll always have the documents. Recorder's office burned to the ground. They have, except for the old documents, the newer documents are up on a cloud, so they can reproduce them, stamp it, a certified copy, and you're good to go.
Yeah. And absolutely, guys, you want to keep copies too, at least electronic copies on your end as well, for those sort of things.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. To make it easier. I mean, if you have original documents, do exactly what Brent said. Put them in some sort of safe deposit, maybe a safe deposit box at the bank, whatever you feel comfortable with. No, that's a charge, but it's not overbearing, so that you have access to the documents. I mean, stuff can happen.
Yeah, you almost like need to explain that note, that promissory note, and that deed of trust, or that promissory note and mortgage. That note is like cash. That's your 50 grand right there. And so keep this thing in a fireproof box. You can get one for $25 at Walmart. If you don't have one, let me know. I'll Amazon you one. Just little cheap like that. Because guys, think about it. Like, I borrowed from hard money loan lenders for years at 4 points and 2%. Heck, my dad refinanced his house. I calculated up. I swear he's paying like 3 points. I mean, so banks are hard money lenders as well. Points are origination fees, like little fees they throw in there. Our private lenders, they don't have any of that. Any other questions? That was a good one. That was a really good question, Sandy.
Well, because I was getting confused, what basically like getting a song together. So just getting confused.
I have set up a fund. That's a whole nother story. I'm not the expert on that. Yeah, I prefer to try and match the deal with the lender. And guys, like, again, you get a big lender list, the world of opportunities open up to you. You could be that guy in the land sharks. Hey, send me the deal. Send me your deals. I'm buying deals, Send me all your deals. I'll joint venture with you or whatever,
Thank you.
My pleasure.
And everybody, please remember that if it's a good opportunity, and the numbers make sense, there's a whole bunch of folks here in the land sharks that'll write a check. Brent or Dan Havercost and Mason McDonald, a couple of guys from Canada, they're in and out of buying stuff, but post your, if you're looking for a buyer, the first place you should post your deal is on the Land Shark Facebook page.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely buyers in the land sharks. Guys, I'm going to put 2 books that were very helpful to me in the beginning as well. One is from Susan Lassiter Lyons called Getting the Money, and the other one is Jay Connor. And Bill introduced me to Jay Connor. Where'd you get the money now? And it's got this beautiful man on it. He's a hoot. He's fun to listen to on a podcast. Yeah, I recommend.
The Southern gentleman.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I recommend getting these books. I'll drop the link in the chat. Anybody have any other questions? I I love talking about raising capital. This has been just a journey doing it.
I got a couple.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to kind of get everyone's thoughts on this and make sure I'm kind of interpreting this correctly. I forgot to pull over my offer prices in Pebble when I sent out some LOLs. And I was like, shoot. And we just finished PCSing my wife out to Georgia. So it was midnight. I had to get on a plane the next day. And I was like, dude, I got to just go. So I wake up the next morning. I'm like, I feel like I forgot something. Sure enough, I log in. So basically, everyone got some LOLs that like don't have prices on them. But it was interesting because I actually got more phone calls back when that mail hit than when I had mailed that area a month ago with offer prices in. So my thought was, I just need to be sending interest letters, not LOLs to this area. Am I interpreting that correct?
Some areas are different. I've had better results in some areas by sending a neutral letter than a land offer letter. You're going to get more phone calls on the neutral letter all day long. Maybe that's a strategy. Just switch it up. Every 12 weeks, send a different letter.
Okay. Yeah, that seemed to make sense to me.
And just keep those people on a follow-up, even if they don't want to sell today. They might want to sell a year from now. For instance, we are getting one of our rentals redone, and I reached out to my handyman.
Would you also, so in the same way you would ask for like proof of funds, like shoot me a screenshot of your bank account, would it be too far to also ask, hey, can I see your last pay stub? What do you think about that?
I don't care if they've got monthly payments, if they got proof of funds.
Okay. And then
Never asked for any pay stub.
okay.
Anyone that still land on seller finance, if they can get the down payment, I don't care if they got a job.
Well, and that was the other interesting thing. He was like, yeah, I've probably got 7,000 of a down payment right now. I hate the bank. I would love for you to finance it. And I was like, well, I mean, I like being the bank, so sounds good to me. I did send her out.
So let's role play for a minute. What's he buying from you for 7,000 down?
He's looking for 5 acres of county land. He initially said that he didn't care if he didn't need it to be shovel ready, of course, but he initially said he didn't care if it had utilities and septic and stuff on it. Then when I had a follow-up phone call last week, he said, yeah, it would be really nice. I'm going to call him later today and kind of gauge whether or not he would be open to putting it on himself. Because if I feel like if I can get the land at a cheaper price and sell it to him. The other thing he mentioned is that he doesn't want to carry a note for more than 5 years. So if he said his budget is $100,000, if I can get him a piece of land for, let's say, 30, he's going to be able to pay off that note a lot faster. He may be more interested in paying off the note faster than getting something that already has utilities hooked up to it. The guy's a welder and a mechanic. I would think that he would be open to the idea of doing some of that himself or managing some of it himself.
Yeah. I would just have that conversation like, okay, hey, I'm willing to go out and find a piece of land for you. 7,000 down is a little bit light on 5 acres, and it's absolutely light if you want to have utilities on it like water and sewer. So I would just need some sort of proof of funds showing that you have at least a 7K down. For me to, launch these marketing campaigns. Now, if I'm selling a piece of land and I got 5 acres and they want me to hold the financing, even though I have financing available on the marketing, he's like, I got $7,000 down. I would kind of struggle with that a little bit. Oh, wow. Yeah. 7,000 is a little bit light for a 5-acre parcel. I might be able to do that. Well, let's just say I could. What is the most you can afford comfortably each month if I were to finance that for you?
Okay. That makes
I were to take payments on that.
And if he comes back and said, depending on what he comes back and says, if it's a great number, just let it be. If it's a little low, same thing, kind of struggle with it. So if he comes back and he says, well, I could probably comfortably do about 300 a month.
Yeah, I would struggle. Oh man, yeah, that is really light. So am I hearing you correctly? 7,000 down and about 300 a month is what you could do?
Yeah. That's kind of what I think I could do. How's that sound?
Oh, I don't know. Let me pull out my calculator real quick. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling out my calculator. Calculator. So I'm going to pull it out, and you said 30,000 is what the land?
Yeah.
It costs. So let's just say it's 37,000. So he's going to have a $30,000 note. and start at 12%, 30 years. So $300 a month, right? $300.58. So you can't quite be at 12%, but you can make it work at 11%. You know what, Greg? You told me everything you're going to do with the land. I want to work with you. I'd love to see you guys be able to put that cabin on it. And, you say you have 3 kids out there. I could do the $7,000 down, keep you under that $300 a month. If I agree to that, where do you want to go from here?
Yeah, I mean, I know how long of a note is that going to be, Brent?
Yeah, so for me to get your payments at less than 300 a month, that's a 30-year mortgage at 11% interest.
Ooh, I was really hoping to not carry a note I was hoping for 5 years tops. I mean, how much would I need to pay you monthly if I wanted to have this thing paid off in 5 years?
Yeah, let me pull that up. So that would be 5 years, 60 months. Could you afford $653 a month?
Hmm. Man, I'd have to think about it. I might be able to. I'd have to make sure that my wife wanted to really squeeze that extra, 350 or more a month than we had kind of talked about earlier. Is it okay if I get back to you on that?
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to have your wife on board with this a major purchase. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to sell it to you, but yeah, it's got to work for you. Hey Greg, is it okay if I give you my Godfather offer before I get off the phone here? You ever saw the movie The Godfather?
Ah, it's a great movie, one of my favorites. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna assume this is the offer I can't refuse.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Let me do some quick math here. Let's say I got you down to 8 years, and obviously you could pay more. If I can get you down to 8 years at 439 a month, it pays off in 8 years. That puts you at a 9% interest rate. Would that help you to obviously, again, you got to what's your wife's name? I apologize.
Susie.
Would that help would that help smooth it over with Susie? You think you guys can pull an extra $139 a month and get it paid off in 8 years or less?
For only 139 or more, for going, considering that it could be 30 years, I actually think she would go for that, Brent.
Okay. How about this? It's about 2:55 p.m. If you think you have time to talk to her, get back to me by about 6 p.m. tonight?
I think 6:30. We're probably gonna sit down and eat dinner at 5:30, but after that, I can make it the first thing we talk about. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, absolutely. If you get back to me by 7 p.m., I'll knock down the interest rates. I'll get you down to that 439 a month, and let's do the deal.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll call you probably around 6:30 tonight.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Nice meeting you, Greg. Talk to you later. And guys, you want to have a little scarcity with that. I would maybe add a little scarcity with that. Maybe you've got some calls later on that you're going to have. You can add in well, Greg, I actually have another call, because if you're marketing, you're going to have more calls. I have another call today about this land. If you can I can hold it for you until 7 p.m. This deal is for tonight only, that I'm willing to lower the interest rate and lower the years. But obviously you want to give them a no-brainer deal, like an actual Godfather deal, a deal they can't refuse. So obviously the land can't be worth, 20,000 and you guys are selling for 37. I would sell the land for what it's actually worth, but I'm offering financing. So there's usually with the people that call and we're having a conversation like that, they usually want it. I don't sell my land for more. A lot of people think that you could sell the land for more if you're going to offer the financing. I just get in on the interest. And I always show them listen, you could pay this thing off sooner.
Yeah, the paying it off sooner is a good point. That may be compelling to him as well, because he may want. I mean, in his case, actually, he's a mechanic on the side as well. So knowing that he could pay it off sooner, he may want to pull himself up by his bootstraps for a little bit and bring it back down to 5 and put in some extra work. Yeah, that may be compelling. Yeah.
Or maybe Susie says, absolutely not. There's no way we can afford anything over 300. I will divorce you and I call you at 7. Hey man, just wanted to see how it went with Susie. She's gonna leave me if I pay more than $300 a month. I'm like, all right, you know what, Greg? I don't want to have any more phone calls about this land. You need to be at $300 a month. Let's just get it done. So let me figure out how we can do this. All right. I mean, obviously you don't want to go too much below 8 or 7%, but let's just say, all right, how about this, Greg? Is Susie around? Does she want to hear this as well?
No, she's out putting the kids down, and I think it's probably best to give her some time to cool down.
Absolutely. Got it. Absolutely. So I can't even borrow money at 7% interest. I'm paying my lenders anywhere from 9 to 12% right now. So you know what interest rates are doing. You can't even buy a house for less than 6% right now. I'm going to give you guys until tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Are you able to talk tomorrow at 9 a.m.?
Yep, I can give you a call on the way to work.
Okay, we'll discuss it tomorrow at 9. Soothe it over with Susie. Maybe light a candle, cook her some brownies or something this evening. Or maybe she likes a salty snack like a chip, salt and vinegar chips. That's my wife. But I will do it. We could do it for the $7,000 down still. I'll have your payment less than $270 a month, and that's putting you at a payoff about a 15-year payoff at 7% interest. Does all that make sense?
No, I think I understand. Yeah, 7,000 down, under 270 a month for 15 years. I'll talk with her about it.
All right, my man. Sounds good. All right. I know Chase had a question too. I apologize, Chase. You had your hand up a while.
Yeah, thank you for that, Brent. Appreciate it.
What the hell's Finn?
Oh yeah, no worries. I'm kind of sidetracking, and I'm kind of a little ignorant when it comes to buying the land. I buy a lot of mobile homes and parks, and it's definitely structured differently in Florida. It's just really titles like cars. But if I want to purchase a piece of land, how do you guys usually go about it? You guys just send them a purchase agreement and then send it to the title company. How does that typically work?
Oh, brother, you got to watch the Land Sharks court.
I haven't even dove into it. So
You're missing out. I know you're in Land Home League, but definitely check out the course and implement it. Even it like set your budget. But I send out what's called land offer letters. I send out offers every day for land at a discounted price. So when I get a mobile home lot at my discounted price, it's like a dadgum home run. Like my wife's like, why are you ringing the bell? This was just got a LOL accepted. I was laughing out loud. So
I'm gonna dive into that more.
check out that course for sure. But most people will throw those things away, but when they sign it, send it back, that's usually guaranteed profit for you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, guys. Great call today. Anybody want the last words?
Yeah, and just a quick note is, let's suppose on one of those deals that you were just dead set on getting $10,000 down for your land, and the buyer just didn't happen. So one of the ways that you could do that, a lot of times they can afford a little bit more in payments. And let's suppose that your initial offer was $300 a month, but you really wanted to have $10,000 down and they don't have it. Well, what you could do is structure it, let's say it's a 5-year deal. For the first year, they pay an extra $250 a month or $3,000 for the year. So they're actually paying $550 instead of $300. So for the first year, they pay $550, and then beginning January 1st of the second year, their payment drops to $300 a month. And so you've gotten your down payment money now over a 12-month period. So you feel like they're going to be in the deal for the long term, and their payments have actually gone down. So the land is actually more affordable for them in the second year.
That's a really good point. All right.
For this type of like if I'm going to carry a note for someone, is this something that I can work with the title company to do the documentation for, or do I need to go find a lawyer?
Yeah, if you're selling it through a title insurance company or a realtor, that would be set up on a mortgage and a promissory note or a mortgage and a deed of trust. And yeah, title company will take care of it. Way easier. Makes it way easier. Guys, I had a hard stop about 2 minutes ago. I'm late for another call. Go ahead, Bill. Reeser.
Great call, man.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for jumping on. Great call. See you later, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.